Well, hi. Tom and Jane Tudor here. I don't know if I can keep up the drawl, but I'm in that kind of mood. I want to bless some hearts. I want to bless the hearts of all the transsexual women, two of them in particular, that I'm not going to name because they know who the fuck I'm talking about. And every single other one of the trannier than fucking thou thought police in the so-called transgender community, which consists of non-operative people who are living full-time in their natural born gender role, gender identity, in the role of their natural born gender identity as masculine or feminine, as those individuals have chosen to present themselves to the world. But once they say, I am a transgender person, please, I'm not male. I understand I sound like a male, and I understand that I look like a beer barrel, a beer keg from a distance. I do understand that. I wasn't going to start the video until I checked my weight because, I've been told I need to be working out. So I'm going to get a visitor who might need some cosmetic surgery. And yes, we have broken the 200-pound barrier. Yay. Auntie Tommy's down to 197.8 pounds. Her boobs are sticking out further than her belly again, almost. ah. And I never had man muscles. They call me noodle arms. I never had man muscles. I am a genuine intersex person who had what they didn't like, they decided I was male when I was born. And that was just based on the size of my penis and nothing else. And then when my testicles didn't appear, they thought they needed to make them appear. And that fucked my world up. It just moved. They were inside me. They moved them to outside me where they're cooler and farther from my brain. And yeah, so I'm kind of mentally ill. I had a lot of behavioral health issues due to that chemical imbalance, because the chemistry of external testicles, no matter what they're producing, is totally different from the chemistry of internal testicles, because there's like about a 4-degree difference in temperature. So, anyway, anybody who wants to call me a transtrender is deeply mistaken and is libeling me. And those who go a step further and claim that I'm a sexual predator because of a totally consensual and harmless encounter with a minor 40 years ago who invited me into a bed I was already sleeping in with a woman I was already sleeping with. And nothing happened. But 40 years later, that confession makes me a pedophile and child molester. Do you realize how stupid that sounds? I mean, it doesn't sound too stupid for stupid people, but you put that in front of a judge, you're in trouble. And the only thing that's kept me from putting it in front of a judge is that nobody has been stupid enough to commit this crime in local police jurisdiction. And I haven't been stupid enough to try and file a lawsuit on my own. This could all change real soon, thanks to one of those stupid trans medicalists that are gatekeeping me from their exclusive LGBT spaces, when the true advocates, the old school, the pioneers, the people who took the lumps, the people who threw the first shot glasses and bricks at Stonewall, Compton's cafeteria, and those kind of things. A lot of them people are still alive and still on waging the war for queer equality. And the parents have jumped into the game and taken the lead, with all of us gathering around them. So that's where the fight is. And people like you are not welcome in that circle. You have your fringe elements of like your special sexualities and all of that. No exclusion. We fought. We struggled. We've gone through so much over the last 50 years for our right to be ourselves wherever the fuck we are. And here you want to go start building exclusive LGBT spaces again. It sounds like Zionist Jews. Excuse me. You know what else is kind of cool about my life? That I know I'm on the right track, because the only people who say that my playing sucks are you. Anybody who hears it live embarrasses me with the things they say and appreciation for it. And they're real fucking generous. And I sure ain't pity fucked that. Not when somebody tosses a 20 at me. So I carry on. Live foolishly. Die stupid. I don't care. I'm gonna live forever. I mean, I already have lived forever, but not in this body. As have the rest of you. But you have no cognitive awareness of that. I have hundreds of friends who do. That you can't see because you live in an entirely different reality track than they do. Bring me his third seat sixth grader and we can do that shit, kids. So anyway, I'm real busy today. The last 10 minutes of this shit. That's plenty. 10 minutes of, hey, thought police, your thoughts are invalid and unacceptable within the community that I am a respected member of. And that's all I really have to say. Until me and this person in Tucson meet face to face. can't do magic. It takes me time to put things back. Everything's been stripped out of the cabinets and everywhere, and all the fabric. And you notice I'm not really panting or wheezing. The cough is always there, especially on days like today, when I haven't checked it yet. But I'll bet you the AQI is over 60 in my neighborhood. Gag me when I walk down the street. Huh. How about that? I'll be darned. Something else is wrong. Might be the dust just here. They've got bulk pickup that was supposed to have already happened. So like there's like all these piles of trash all around me. That could be it. It's just too much dust kicked up right around here. Because the local air quality is pretty good today. I've been cramping and shit. I tried to go to sleep early last night, and by 2 o'clock I had woken up 3 times with a leg cramp. So I got all the way up and drank a couple of liters of water right there. I've filled this thing 4 times at least since then. Which is good, because it means my body's working. I broke the 200-pound barrier. I just weighed in at 197.8. So we're happy. We're in good shape. I've got several bands already on board. Well, actually, I didn't even make the move until I knew that one was on board, and that the family was cool with it. And several other folks stepped up. And just things are generally good. Oh yeah, that was the big news. I think I'll post about it. I got some pictures of it. It's not the one that's for sale, but it's like the one that's for sale for $3,800. And this thing is just built for flea marketing and shit. All I gotta do is open the side. It's a Dodge crew cab short bed with a cap that has side windows. And just pick right up. So I could make a little something and bam, I got a show right there. Just pop the back door and pop the windows and show my shit for $3,800. And it's not going anywhere. The guy lives right around the corner. So, I have 2 people that may occupy the other apartment. It's currently gutted. I've got pictures of that too. I'm going to be posting in a little while. I gotta get in the shower and out the door by. The music's going to start at 7. So I really need to be out of here by 6:30 if I want to get there before it starts. I don't like walking into these things late. Especially in a smaller club like Borderlands. I was late to the Keith Mercola concert Sunday night. They just started, so I missed the beginning. And I didn't know where Frank Sanzo had he's a downtown music head who films and has a YouTube channel that he posts stuff on. And I didn't know that his camera was there. And I would have known if I'd gotten there early enough, but I was just like moving through the crowd and with my phone trying to get pictures of the band and dancers and stuff. And there was just this little corner on stage right where it was perfect for me to back up into it. I was backing up into it. And I knew that there was something behind me I didn't want to feel hit my back when I turned around. I didn't see what it was because I didn't have my glasses on. It was Frank's camera on a tripod with a palm behind it. That's what it was. Anyway, I'm just a nerdy old hippie. I'm a dirty, nerdy old hippie, and I'm working on getting cleaner. I mean, here, look, I'm not. Look how clean I am right now, and I haven't been in the shower since. Did I shower this morning? No, it was yesterday. I showered. Um, and on Saturday, I usually don't shower until I go out. And Friday, I remember I rolled out of bed and went straight to the shower. Um, and it feels about right on my face for how scratchy my beard is. But anyway, back to the topic about like, hey, look, I'm more real than anything you've ever met, girls. All right, Native Americans call me a two-spirit. It's very simple. I'm male below the belly button and female above it. What's so hard about understanding that? Shit happens, and it happens to about as many people as it happens as has come out redheaded. It's the most common intersex condition, and it's not genetic. It's just, and it's not an anomaly. It's a recessive trait. It's not something. It's not anything broken. It's just a recessive trait. I'm a girly guy. Well, for me, it might have been a little more because I seem to have been pseudo-hermaphroditic. But I can't say for sure because of the surgery so long ago and everything's all the records are gone. What I do know is that I have a penis, but I have a female emotions and always have. And you can't know how I feel inside and how I felt inside about myself 3 times as long as either one of you two ass clowns has been alive. I mean, that's just ridiculous for a 25-year-old, frustrated, angry, young pre-op who probably can't get anywhere near proper gender care and is self-medicating, telling me about myself. What kind of crap is that? And the only thing that you can tell me about myself is that I'm a pedophile dog fucker based on 2 things I said about things that happened a long, long fucking time ago. Excuse me. That doesn't compute with sane people. It just doesn't. And that's why I can talk about it this way. And so that's not really like, oh, he's constantly admitting it. No, I'm constantly trying to remind you that it's fucking ridiculous. So now we're coming up on 20 minutes, and I really don't want to waste any more time on negativity. I'm trying to. Yeah, well, let me like switch to the positive here, because one of the reasons that set me off is that in one of my private groups, here is a private group for and full inclusion for any kind of gender expression, transgender expression, pre-op, post-op, non-op, you're cool as long as you're over 40 and a nice person. Okay. I do have a camera running. What's going on here is a posting I made yesterday. Ruth Smith is an incredibly dynamic woman. The youngest girl in a very large family in Michigan, and one of the grand old bags of the Tucson's live music scene, at least by the time I arrived. She was a young woman when she was helping to produce events. There are two things about Ruth only her close friends and family knew. Ruth overcame muscular dystrophy, and it was always a struggle for her to hold things in her hands and work with them. Ruth was very generous, loved to travel, and loved to gamble along the way, so she burned through her savings pretty quickly after she retired. But she wasn't worried about it because she owned her house free and clear, and her benefits were plenty to live on comfortably. Ruth had worked all her life to be sure she had her own house to live out her retirement in. But the way things worked out, because she wasn't paying rent or mortgage, she was getting $300 too much from her benefits, disqualifying her from access and EBT. For the last years of her life, co-pays were taking a third of her income, and now the accumulated bills were threatening to take her house and any other assets remaining. She had the good sense to only leave $5 in the bank, and her family stripped the house of anything of value. I'm hoping to work with her brother and stepdaughter to fight that. Those bills should have been getting paid by the state. For anybody wondering about the cats, call me. Al has a new home, and Leaf is still at his house being cared for there. He has food and water inside and a cat door to get in and out. So Ruth's closest friend, who happened to have moved away about 6 months ago, checked in. We don't have to read hers. And then we don't have to read any of this. But then her niece came in, and this conversation is worth reading, because this is where it's at with me and Ruth and her estate and the music community. Make of it what you will. Yes, I intend to make some money off of it, but I intend to make sure that any money I make, at least 10 times more, is going to go to charities. Because that's how I roll. Today, she's probably still outside. I should check. I forgot to look. See if the phone's still in here. No, she might take off. There was a sister sitting by the Walgreens, obviously unhoused. And I asked her if she needed anything because I had so much extra benefits, and I took her inside and spent about $25 on food. And then let her come back here and charge up her phone. She apparently took off without saying anything. No. Where's my pipe? Oh yeah, we really don't want to stay long. That's right. I need to go and do something. So anyway, now we're talking. I'm envisioning a community center because that's what Ruth and I were talking about in the last months of her life, is to keep her house going, as what it has always been. Her daughter, the house was willed to her daughter, but we're afraid that she's not going to be able to hold on to it because of the medical bill liens. So that's where we're at. And her brother's supposed to come in this weekend and conference with us about it. I want to help. Karma does not want to let go of the house. She has rentals other than this one, so she just used it as a rental. I think is what she said. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm pretty sure she said. Is that she got other rentals, and that thing can be fixed up and rented out. I'd like to see it turned into a community center because that's what Ruth and I were talking about. But I'm not in the will at all. I tried to buy her car from her in the last week of her life, but she wasn't going to let me have it. And not at the price I could afford to pay right in that moment. I only had a few $100s, so the thing's worth probably about $1,500. At least $1,500. That's pretty old, but it's been well maintained. And it's 4 or 5 on the floor. So I wanted it, just to get back and forth. But she nixed that one about Wednesday before she died. Because I was only able to get out there on the bus, back and forth on the bus. And it's 2 buses to get there. Long hauls from here to downtown and then downtown out to her. So that's that. And I forget what I wanted to talk about. So we'll just get back to authenticity. You transsexual pre-op, post-op, and most don't. Oh, that's what I was going toward. Because I was going to go to that group and let you know what triggered this particular rant. And it's not directed at those two so much as the whole conflict of interest. And I'll read all of that before I quit. This is an important conversation between transgendered women of all varieties over 40. And there's actually several. Here's an older post-op who was talking about getting triggered by joining a group that was a transgender bachelorette exclusive club, and it's pages and pages of much younger early transitioners. And she felt it was a rude awakening because of the much higher bar for being pretty and feminized has become. Self-selecting, it's all that's narcissism in the youngsters. We older people have had to deal with presenting ourselves and not being able to pass well, and still getting people to respect us. Here, you guys are passing real well and being shitty to people. What did I say? Oh yeah, I picked up on it. This was my first comment. None of us can compete with the likes of a Rebecca Brushoff, Kim Petras, Hunter Piper, Kylie Clifton, or Alex Consani, who were given blockers by the time they were 11. And you have to look real close at these girls to even be able to clock them as being assigned male at birth. I don't even try. I rarely wear a wig or makeup and never wear breast forms or corsets. It's too hot here for that, and they trigger me because I can feel that they're not mine. I gave up on my nails because I'm a stone cutter and have to wait weeks for my nails to recover from a heavy session on the wheels. Even though I look like a beer keg in a skirt from a distance, I have no trouble passing on my behavior. When I get misgendered, all I have to do is say I'm not a guy. And most people apologize for getting it wrong, and I've never gotten into a validation argument in the real world. But this is Tucson. Queers are untouchable here, protected by the law for the past 22 years. I rarely have to even give anybody a trans 101 lecture. And the sister, OP was like, wow. She didn't know about Tucson. And she's like, competing, I need to look at that. I mean, this is a really nice lady, and she's, to anybody who isn't looking for it, isn't going to think she's transgender. She lives on a boat, dates men. She's a real nice lady. Laid back, soft spoken, and here's this sense of competition between transgender people for who's the trainiest of all. All this passing privilege and what goes with it and all that happy shit. And what you lack for not trying to do that. So I told her I just picked up on the word compete from other comments. I'm an old hippie. Hippies don't compete with anybody in the game of life. We want to see everybody make it to wherever they're trying to go. Though I have to be honest and wish the people driving down the highway to hell would get there already. It took me until I was nearly 60 to come out. And I immediately discovered that the angel-faced girl I'd been looking at in the mirror had a body ravaged by testosterone and had a similar shape to a beer keg with legs. I was going to look like a man in a dress if I tried to do anything the least bit hyper-femme, so I didn't. I kept my basic hippie style, Added in some skirts and some more feminine sweaters and jackets. Works really well for me because Tucson is so accustomed to NBs. Nobody on the street ever questions me when I say I'm not a guy. And I can see clearly in people's eyes whether they know I'm trans or not. And I work the streets, so I meet a lot of people. If I get into it with a transphobe, they break it off politely and leave, instead of arguing with me about why they know I'm really a biological male. Whenever I read about a murder or beating somewhere, I pray that all my siblings wake up tomorrow someplace and as trans-friendly as here. I really do. And I have to question this this individual that's trying to gatekeep me from a community I've lived in longer than her, that I've already gatekeeped myself from, and that I still got into anyway. So the local transgender community has nothing for me because it's exclusive. I've been a member of the Hippie Music and Arts Festival community for 40 years. Okay? Let's sink in. Here the queer rainbows have been struggling all these years for our right to exist safely anywhere. And here come you militant Taliban creating your fucking exclusive LGBT spaces and keep anybody who isn't queer enough for you out of them. You suck. I'm a nice person. My friends are nice people. You people gatekeeping folks for the reasons you gatekeep them and by the methods you employ, you're part of the problem. And on that's plenty. So, yeah, I'm not very feminine, but I'm not trying to be. And by not trying, I don't get any pushback about having a dick. And yeah, I make weird faces, but my antics and the things I say make people laugh heartily with me, not at me. Namaste, motherfuckers. Happy day, nice people. Thanks for watching. Bye.